And this is what happens if you plan on becoming a reseller. Just look out, because you will get a car boot sale addiction. All winter, I'm like, right, car boots, car boots, car boots. When is they on? When are they on? When are they on? Is it this week? Is it next week? Is it this week? When is it? Right then, you horrible bunch. We've got another little, it's currently, what is it, Monday afternoon, and we've got a little Monday accountability video. Do these every week. They are not very fun. Yeah, they're not very fun for anyone really, so I don't know why I'm still doing it, but there you go. But yeah, I'm going to go through last week and see how last week went, that sort of thing, and then what I want to do for this week going forward to try and progress. Because yeah, that's what life's all about, baby. Fucking hell. Oh, I hate these videos. Last week was an absolute shite show, basically, to be completely transparent. I was a bit of a woe's me week. I was just down in the dumps pretty much all week, about work anyway. I just couldn't seem to get momentum. And I kept making excuses, and I was driving myself crazy because I kept making excuses for the excuses. Anyway, only up from last week. It was a nightmare. So I had the goal last week was to stick to a schedule. That went out the window. That went out the window by Monday morning. I think I was late out of bed every day last week, the exception of Sunday, ironically. Kicked it into gear yesterday. So yeah, that was a bit of a shit week in terms of being productive at work. It was it didn't go completely to plan, but that happens. And yeah, a little bit of a bitch mentality last week, to be honest with you. I really didn't give it all I had. I kind of gave up, and I feel this weird one, because the more I realised I was giving up, the more guilty I felt for giving up, and the more guilty I felt, the more I gave up. It was just like, what is going on? So anyway, write that week off. It's happened now. I got a bit done, got a little bit listed, that sort of thing, but yeah, nightmare. One positive to take out of last week was the challenge of doing the fitness challenge, which is 75 hard. Little fitness challenge I've been doing. On day, what am I on? Day 18 now. So it's going pretty well. Stuck to that religiously. Basically two training sessions a day, at least 45 minutes. One has to be outside, drinking your water, reading your book, and then like progress picture, which is nothing crazy. But yeah, I stuck to that religiously, did really well with that last week. Currently, obviously, like I say, 18 days in, and I'm about 4 kilos down from what I was. I was 103 kilos, and now I'm about 99, so that's pretty awesome. Happy with that. But yeah, it's just that the work side of the last week was just, it's still bugging me now. But yeah, I'm hoping this week I can really just crank it into gear and make a little bit of progress. Don't know what it was about last week. I think I was just maybe a little bit stressed, a little bit of I don't know what it was about last week. I just couldn't seem to get going. I just couldn't seem to get going. And that's sometimes a problem of being self-employed. Like if you're employed and you're like that, you have to do the work because you know you're getting like bollocked by the boss. And yeah, this is why I'm doing something like the 75 hard challenge, the fitness challenge that I'm doing, is just to build that discipline. Because when you're self-employed, you have to, right? You've got no one to answer to. Like no one cares if I work all day or if I stay in bed. But no one's kicking my door down saying, why aren't you at work? Maybe the person I'm renting off will after a month if I don't pay him. But you know what I mean. Like in the short term, it's not gonna make a difference to anyone else other than me and my bank account. So it's just building that resilience of right, let's crank it into gear and build that consistency now, because we have no choice. And it's difficult to stick to that when you're self-employed, because obviously there's no one in charge of you. There's no one saying, right, do this, do that. Right, why aren't you working? Why aren't you working? There's like there is when you're employed. So that's definitely a skill that has to be developed. I mean, discipline is essentially a muscle that has to be worked and worked continuously. It's not something you just have. Some people do. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those people. But there you go. It's definitely something I'm working on, because it's a life skill. It's something that you need in any field of life. If you want to get fitter, if you want to build a brand, if you want to build a business, anything, any area of your life, you'll need discipline. So it's definitely a skill that you need to learn. because it gets you everywhere basically. If you can stay disciplined and make yourself do the things you don't want to do when you don't want to do them, that's when you get the most out of your energy and your goals essentially. So it's something that needs to be practiced. But anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that. I'm just going to reset, do the same goals that I had last week for this week going into it, being the 75 hard challenge, and then just trying to stick to that work schedule and getting as much done in the days as I can. One thing I am going to add is I'm going to try and schedule my days a little bit better, because I did it this morning as well. I woke up and I was like, shit, what am I doing today? And it took me probably 20 minutes to actually figure out, right, but if I just start doing that the night before, even just briefly on a notepad, wake up, gym, list, eBay stuff, like just little quick, like bam, take 5 minutes in the evening. You wake up with the thought, right, first one is list, then it's this, then it's that, and you have no room for procrastination basically. And it does help, as long as you can stick to it with the discipline. So yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to blabber on for too long. I just wanted to come on and say that last week didn't go to plan. I didn't want to actually come on and say that. I don't know why I pretended I wanted to say anything. I would rather not make this video, but I feel like I should. And I've already started it, so it will be getting uploaded. Funny little story to add in on the end. Yesterday was obviously Sunday, and I thought we woke up, me and the girlfriend woke up and we were like, right, what should we do today? And I kind of got her into reselling, which is quite funny. And we were like, yeah, what should we do? So we sort of thought, right, we'll go to a car boot sale. We were like Googling which car boot sales are on, because all our local ones start next week. So she was like, right, well, I'll look on Facebook and have a look. So I was like, what about Exeter? Oh, that's a bit too far. What about all these other places, Bude, Shat, all these places we were looking at? I was like, Taunton will be on, another location. So we were like, right, come on, let's get out of bed, let's get going. We thought, right, it'll be on at 1. Every car boot in the world starts at 1, so we thought. So we drove all the way up there. It's like 20 minutes on a back road, absolute shit road. We got out there, fucking hell. We were like, right, we pulled into where it was. There was like all these bikes, like having a bike show, and we're like, what the fuck, this isn't right. So we were like, right, we're just, is it definitely here? It's definitely here. Yeah, it's definitely, like, it should be here. We went all the way down to the car park in this fucking muddy road, all the potholes. I'm in the van, thinking, fucking hell, you know, absolute awful road. Got to the bottom, we're like, oh, where is it then? Because it's not here. I was like, right, go on the comments on where you saw that post and have a little look, see if it's been cancelled or whatever. And so she was like, I ain't got signal, So we had to drive until we had signal up to the top of the car park again, past that muddy road with all the potholes. Right, got signal. Let's have a little look at the comments. Oh, that's weird. Someone's commented opening times 8 till 12. Brilliant. So we're only the 5 hours late. So we got there 5 hours late. It's supposed to it started for buyers at 8 o'clock in the morning, which is crazy, because what time are the sellers getting there? The sellers must be getting there at like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, right? So we were like, that's mental. So we just drove 20 minutes on this awful back road out to the middle of nowhere essentially. We're like, right, what do we do now? Luckily 10 minutes down the road there's like a beach. We went for a little walk. But yeah, fucking absolute nightmare. This is what happens when you're just impatient, you just want to get to a car boot sale and you've got a car boot sale addiction. This is what happens if you plan on becoming a reseller. Just look out, because you will get a car boot sale addiction. All winter, I'm like, right, car boots. When is they on? When are they on? Is it this week? Is it next week? Is it this week? When is it? Oh, it's a nightmare. And then you end up chasing them around, and then only 5 hours late to a car boot sale. That's obviously all packed up and gone. So yeah, definitely before you travel for a car boot sale, just triple check that it is on, because you don't want to do what I did. So yeah, definitely make sure your car boot sales are on before you travel 20 minutes on a rough back road to get anywhere. Right, as that being said, if you like the story, a bit of story time, make sure you like this video and subscribe, because, you know, it does me a favour, and I do appreciate every subscriber. I get a little notification come through when I get a subscriber. I do get a bit happy. I'm like, oh, got another subscriber, that's quite cool. So yeah, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, because it does go a long way. Make sure you do it, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much for watching.